What's up, beautiful people out of Expediting land? What's up? What's going on? Hey guys, everybody knows what's going on with the coronavirus, obviously. In the form, the newcomers coming in Expediting, and you're just get started if you're been here 4 or 5 months, 6 months. Man, this is something that's unexpected to happen throughout the country and worldwide. There's no reason to get overly reacted to this situation. As far as the freight goes in Expediting, if you're new, like I said before in previous videos, we do a lot of different commodities of freight. Automotive is the top priority. Coal mine equipment, machinery parts, and things of that nature. Long story short, coronavirus, it's going to do a freight shift, a freight flop, whichever you want to call it, with the Expediting right now. There's a lot of companies that's not going to be open. There's many that are. For example, if you haven't done, which I've done in the past, if you haven't done a lot of Walmart and Target or hospital equipment, restock, obviously, you are going to end up probably helping out Swift, Warner, or Landstar, all these companies that are, trying to cover and help out Walmart, Target, grocery stores, local grocery stores all over the country and all that. Myself, I'm getting a load going back to Florida. They're absolutely... It's a different reaction in different states, different cities because of the population, obviously. But long story short, guys, I'm trying to give the newcomers some insight what to do in this situation. You need to interact with your carrier. If you're out there just sitting in a cargo van, straight truck, you're not interacting, communicating, or what have you, you're pretty much, on your own. You've got to understand that this is a little crucial. Changes is going to have to take place depending on who you drive for and all these other things, okay? If you're new coming in and this happened and bam, everything's seized, you need to get with your carrier, your dispatch, your owner, and interact with them. Offer suggestions. Like for me, for example, I did several Walmart loads in Florida. I called my dispatcher, supervisor, and the owner of the company first. I went through the chain of command, and I asked, is there any possible way, if it is permitted, to give this Walmart distribution center area, there's the main one obviously is in Arkansas, but there are different distribution centers for Target and Walmart throughout the country, different states, everybody knows that. But I, on my own, I submitted our Expedite information to the Walmart distribution supervisor, and it worked. That's to give you an idea. What they'll do is they'll call your carrier, get the rates, get information, get all the necessary information they need, insurance, and all these other things that they go through to approve your carrier helping out Walmart, Target, and all these other things, and start bidding on the loads. But you got to make sure that right now that you don't go crazy and jump ship. But I understand everybody's situation, financial situation, family situation is different, and I understand that. This is for new drivers coming in, your team or solo. If you're just sitting in a cargo van, you're sitting in a straight truck, you're not interacting, you're not calling your dispatch, you're not calling your owner, you're just sitting there just to be sitting, and you're like, WTF, what's going on, man? Everything's shutting down. That's on you, okay? I interacted because it's a necessary step to take right now because of the coronavirus, COVID-19, whichever you want to call it, But my point is, newcomers, interact. You need to start interacting right now. See if you can gather up accounts yourself. If you do a Target load for Landstar, if you do a Walmart load for UPS, and etc., when you unload, ask to speak to the supervisor. More than likely, the dock supervisor will directly to the distribution plant manager and things of that nature. And you have a 50-50 shot to get a contract or get loads approved through the distribution. Not just one or two. I'm talking about helping others out too. Not only benefit you, but when you give the information to these customers and they contact your carrier, it'll benefit not only you but other people. Okay, there's urgency going on. There is shortcoming of trucks, and obviously Walmart's the biggest noticeable thing all over the news and social network about restocking, and hospitals too. Okay, just in general, they're needing extra equipment. They're needing extra medical, sanitary equipment, supplies, and etc. So just take it upon yourself right now, newcomers, if you haven't thought about it, interact with your shipper and your consignee. If they need additional information, call your carrier, get approval from your carrier. 99.9% of the time, the carrier is going to say, of course, give us our information. We need the money. We need the loads. And it's working right now for the company I work for, okay? Luckily, it's working. Everything is not set in stone. Every situation is different with every carrier, obviously. The larger ones may or may not have, that many solo drivers. They do a lot of teaming loads, XPO and FedEx and all these things. But solos driving for smaller companies that, like myself. I used to work for XPO and FedEx, okay, in Tri-State. So I had to do this before, but not to this level, because I not only thinking about myself, but I'm thinking about other drivers, that are on our fleet. It's a medium-sized company out of Nashville, Tennessee. I'm at the home base, getting some repairs done. I thought I'd make this video just to advise the Expediters, newcomers that are coming in, to go ahead and interact immediately. Go ahead and contact your carrier, whoever's in charge. Say, look, I've got a possible contract, maybe possible additional loads for our company carrier. Get with your owner, interact. Just interact. Be professional. And get the information that you need from the carrier and owner to submit to the new customer or the potential new customer, so you can gather loads, because it's going to obviously hit financial hard times for a lot of folks. It really is, okay? And as expediters right now, the larger companies that have the dedicated LTL and all these other things, and hourly wage truckers, Walmart, Target, all these things, they're going to need extra help. They're going to be pushed to the limit. And if you can stretch your imagination and interact with your carrier, interact with your consumer, interact with the shipper, consignee, interact with your truck owner, and say, sir, ma'am, I have an idea and I've got a possibility from additional loads that we need to go ahead and try to gather, because this is not going to only benefit me, it's going to benefit additional drivers. That's how I approached it, and it worked. So that's just my advice right now. If you're just sitting in the cargo van, just to be sitting, you're sitting in a straight truck just to be sitting, and you're wondering what the heck to do, this is my advice in these times right now. It's just up in the air. There's a lot of 50-50. Nobody knows what's going to happen, if it's going to get worse, going to get better. Just pass on by. As a precaution, as try to gain additional customers on your own. Interact, because good karma comes around when you do these things. If you can, you got to understand that there's going to be a lot of changes within the few months. No one knows what's going to happen. No one knows. The coronavirus 19 and all these things. So I just wanted to make this quick video and advise the new drivers that coming in and haven't been exposed to this kind of change before, unexpected change obviously. There's no cure for this thing. There's just trying to, everybody's taking a precaution, shutting down to prevent the slow spread of this thing. And You know, at this point, when you do interact and you do get customers and all that, when you do unload and load, just use common sense. You know, wash your hands as good as you can. Sanitize your hands. When your freight is loaded, it sounds ridiculous, but you know, take a light spray and spray down inside of your box or your van after the load is done, or while the load is in there. You know, you got a can of Lysol, whatever. Spray down your load real fast. You know, I spray down my steering wheel. I spray down basic things that you touch constantly every day, obviously, you know. But people don't think about spraying down your load. If you can, you know, if it's electrical or something like that, obviously. You know, I got a control panel from an engineer. I do a lot of those. You know, engineers call us all the time for control panels going to plants. You know, but what my point is in this video is be creative, stretch your imagination, interact with your carrier, your owner, the customers you deliver and pick up to. See if you can gain a broader range of contracts. You know, obviously get your carrier's permission and get the information that they need to submit to your potential customers, new customers. The last one that I did, I was in Florida, Sara Lee Bread Bakery. There was just some companies prefer to send their own truck drivers home, the hourly paid drivers, you know. So that's where we come in. We pick up the, you know, emergency freight and all these other things, but interact, get new contracts, try your best to be creative and talk and try to do the best that you can to just, you know, interact. Okay, guys? Interact. Try to use your imagination. Just don't just sit there in the van or a straight truck and say, you know, it's done, it's over with. Use your imagination and just continue to, you know, interact. Don't be afraid to ask these customers that you never delivered before. Have you used us before, sir or ma'am? Or have you, you know, would you like further information about a company? We're in need of contracts and we're extra loads due to the fact of the virus going around, all these other things. And extra help is needed everywhere. Extra help is needed everywhere. So go ahead and interact. All right, new drivers? This is Danny Expediting Land. I'm signing off here. We're going to be going to South Atlanta tomorrow at a hospital. They're in need of a lot of things going on. And then from there it's back down to Florida. And running the southeast. It's absolutely, you know, it was chaotic last week. And it's the 23rd of March. This is last week, but just be alert, be creative, stay sanitized as much as you can. Wear your masks, wear your gloves. Whatever you have to do to prevent and help yourself, because it's airborne pretty much. And if you got to take, you know, precautions at the same time, if you can, gain new contracts, gain new load contracts with your carrier. You know, it's going to benefit not only you again, it's going to benefit the other people that work with the same company if you have that type of positive relationship. All right, this is Danny of Expediting Land, different kind of trucking channels, signing off. Hopefully everybody is doing well and running. So I just want to sign off here and wish everybody the best of luck. Keep your head up. If there's any questions, you want to email me at danpw1972 at gmail. danpw1972 at gmail.com. That's my email. Or you can simply comment on my YouTube videos. And my Facebook is up too, so, and Instagram. Alright guys, any questions that you've got, you know, use your imagination, interact, communicate. You know, change is taking place very rapidly, so you got to make the change up here and start interacting. Try to gain new contracts if you can and load options for your carrier. It helps out everyone. Alright guys, this is Danny Expediting Land signing off. Be safe guys. I hope everyone is doing well. See ya.